Something is shifting for you right now, and you probably already feel it. There is a quiet stirring in the background of your life, something that has not yet fully revealed itself but is already changing the way you wake up in the morning, the way you look at what is ahead. You clicked on this video for a reason, and I want you to stay until the very end because what is coming for Sagittarius in this season is not ordinary. This is not a small adjustment or a minor correction. This is the kind of surprise turn that rewrites the direction of your entire path. And the good news attached to it is something you have been waiting for longer than you probably want to admit. The energy surrounding your sign right now is charged with momentum, with unexpected doors opening, and with a sense that the universe has finally decided to respond to everything you have been putting out into the world. But here is the thing. The way this arrives may not look the way you expected. It may come through a conversation you did not plan, a realization that hits you in a quiet moment, or a shift in circumstances that suddenly makes everything click into place. So before we get into the details, I need you to do one thing. Take a breath. Settle in. Because what I am about to walk you through is going to touch on parts of your life you may have been avoiding, parts you have been hoping would change, and parts that are about to surprise you in the best possible way. Tip 1. The energy behind this shift is not random. Let me start by telling you something that most people overlook when they hear about good news coming their way. They assume it is luck. They assume it is some random alignment that just happened to fall in their favor. But for Sagittarius, what is unfolding right now has roots that go much deeper than chance. This energy has been building for a long time, quietly stacking itself in the background while you were busy dealing with the day-to-day weight of your life. Every difficult conversation you had over the past several months, every moment where you chose to keep going even when the path felt unclear, every night where you lay awake wondering if things would ever truly shift, all of that was laying the groundwork for what is arriving now. You see, the universe does not operate on our timeline. It operates on a rhythm that accounts for everything, the lessons we still need to learn, the strength we still need to build, and the readiness we need to develop before we can actually hold the blessings that are meant for us. And that is exactly where you are right now. You have reached a point of readiness that you did not have 6 months ago, and that readiness is what is calling this new chapter forward. Think about it like this. Imagine you planted seeds in a garden a long time ago. You watered them, you tended to the soil, you waited through seasons of nothing visible happening above the surface. And then one morning you walk outside and there are green shoots everywhere. That is what this moment is for you. The seeds you planted through your patience, through your resilience, through your refusal to give up on yourself. Those seeds are finally breaking through. But here is the part one need you to really hear. This shift is not just about external circumstances changing. It is about you recognizing that you have already changed. The person you are today is not the same person who started this journey. You have shed layers of doubt, layers of fear, layers of old stories that told you that you were not enough, or that good things were meant for other people. And because you have done that inner work, even when it was painful, even when it felt like it was not making a difference, the outer world is now beginning to mirror your transformation. What I want you to understand is that this is not a fluke. This is cause and effect on a soul level. You put in the effort and now the return is showing up. But it requires something from you in this moment, and that something is trust. You have to trust that what is coming is real. You have to trust that you deserve it. And you have to trust that the surprise element of how it arrives is actually part of the perfection of the timing. Because if it came the way you expected, it would not stretch you into the next version of yourself. The surprise is the point. The unexpected nature of this turn is what makes it powerful enough to shift everything. So as we move forward, I want you to hold on to that understanding. This is not random. This is earned. And the best part is that it is only the beginning of what this season holds for you. There is so much more unfolding beneath the surface, and in the next section, I am going to show you exactly where this energy is hitting first and what it means for your most important relationships. Tip 2. A relationship dynamic is about to flip completely. Now here is where things get really interesting, and I mean the kind of interesting that makes you stop and rethink everything you thought you knew about a certain connection in your life. There is a relationship, and it could be romantic, it could be a close friendship, it could even be a family bond where the dynamic has felt stuck or imbalanced for a while now. You have been the one carrying the weight. You have been the one reaching out, checking in, making the effort, holding the emotional space. And somewhere along the way, a part of you started to wonder if it was even worth it anymore. You may have even started to pull back, not out of anger, but out of exhaustion. out of the quiet realization that you cannot keep pouring into something that does not pour back into you. Well, here's the surprise turn I need to tell you about. That dynamic is about to flip. The person or people on the other side of this connection are going to have a shift in awareness that changes everything. Something is going to happen in their own life and experience a loss, a moment of clarity that suddenly makes them see what you have been offering all along. And when that happens, the energy between you is going to change rapidly. I am not talking about small gestures or surface-level apologies. I am talking about a genuine deep shift in how they show up for you. They are going to start matching your energy in a way you had almost given up hoping for. But here is the part that is going to require some real wisdom on your part. When this shift happens, you are going to have a choice to make. You can either let the old hurt and resentment block you from receiving this change, or you can open the door and allow the relationship to evolve into something healthier and more balanced. And I know that sounds simple, but it is not. When you have been the one giving for so long, it can feel strange, even uncomfortable, to suddenly be on the receiving end. There is a part of you that might not trust it at first. A part of you that might be waiting for the other shoe to drop, expecting the old patterns to come back. And that is a completely natural response. But what I need you to hear is that this time is different. The shift happening in this connection is not temporary. It is the result of a larger energetic realignment that is affecting everyone around you, not just you. Your role in this is to stay grounded and let it unfold. Do not try to control the pace of it. Do not try to test whether it is real by pushing back or creating conflict. Simply observe. Notice the changes. Allow yourself to feel the relief of finally being met where you are. Because this relationship shift is connected to a larger theme in your life right now, which is the theme of receiving. You have spent so much time in the energy of giving, of sacrificing, of putting yourself last, that the universe is now course correcting by flooding your life with moments where you get to receive without guilt. And this relationship flip is one of the first and most powerful examples of that. There is also something else happening here that ties into what I will share in the next section. Something about your own self-worth that is about to be tested in the most beautiful way. But before we get there, pay attention to who comes to mind as you hear this, because your intuition is already telling you exactly which connection I am talking about. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Tip 3. Your self-worth is being rebuilt from the inside out. There is something happening inside of you right now that you might not have words for yet, but you feel it. It is a slow, steady rebuilding of how you see yourself. For a long time, and I mean years, you have been operating from a version of self-worth that was shaped by other people's opinions, by past failures, by moments where life knocked you down and you internalized the fall as proof that you were not good enough. You carried that weight quietly. You did not broadcast it. You did not ask for pity, but it was there, sitting in the background of every decision you made, every opportunity you talked yourself out of, every time you settled for less than what you truly wanted because a voice in your head whispered that you did not deserve more. That voice is getting quieter now. And what is replacing it is something far more powerful than confidence. It is a deep-rooted knowing. A knowing that you are worthy not because of what you have accomplished or what others think of you, but simply because of who you are. This is the kind of self-worth that cannot be shaken by external circumstances because it is not built on external things. It is built on truth. And the truth is that you have survived every single thing that tried to break you. You are still here. You are still searching, still growing, still willing to show up for your own life. That alone makes you extraordinary. Now, this rebuilding process is not always comfortable. In fact, there may be moments in the coming weeks where it feels like you are being tested. Old insecurities might flare up. Someone might say something that pokes at an old wound. A situation might arise that triggers the same feelings of not being enough that you have worked so hard to move past. But here is the difference between now and then. Now, you have the awareness to catch it. You can feel the trigger happening and choose a different response. You can pause, take a breath, and remind yourself that the old story is not the truth. It never was. It was just the story you told yourself to make sense of the pain, and you no longer need it. What I find most remarkable about this phase for Sagittarius is how it connects to everything else that is shifting. The relationship dynamic I just talked about, the surprise turn that is bringing good news, all of it is being amplified by this internal transformation. Because when you start to truly believe in your own worth, the entire world around you reorganizes to reflect that belief. Opportunities that once passed you by suddenly find their way to your door. People who once overlooked you start paying attention. And most importantly, you stop tolerating the things that used to drain you. You stop saying yes when you mean no. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You start taking up the space you were always meant to take up. And I want to be very clear about something. This is not about becoming arrogant or dismissive of others. This is about balance. It is about recognizing that you matter just as much as the people you have been pouring yourself into for years. It is about understanding that taking care of yourself is not selfish, it is essential. And it is about finally giving yourself permission to want more, to expect more, and to receive more without apologizing for it. This shift in self-worth is going to be one of the most powerful things that happens to you this year. And it is going to set the stage for everything I am about to share in the next section, which has to do with a financial or material change that is coming your way faster than you think. Tip 4. A financial shift is closer than you realize. Let me talk about something that I know has been on your mind, even if you have not said it out loud. Money, resources, the practical, tangible side of life that affects everything from how you sleep at night to how freely you move through the world. For Sagittarius, there has been a period of financial tension, maybe not crisis level for everyone, but certainly a tightness, a feeling of never having quite enough breathing room. You have been managing, making it work, stretching things further than they should reasonably stretch. And while you have handled it with grace, there is a weariness that comes from constantly having to calculate and worry, and wonder if the numbers will line up. Here is what I see changing. There is a financial opening coming that is directly tied to a skill, a talent, or an area of knowledge that you have been undervaluing. Something you do naturally, something that comes so easily to you that you have never thought of it as particularly special, is about to be recognized as incredibly valuable by someone who has the resources or the platform to put it to use. This could show up as a new job offer, a freelance opportunity, a business idea that suddenly gains traction, or even an unexpected sum of money that arrives through a channel you were not watching. The form it takes will vary from person to person, but the underlying energy is the same. Something you already possess is about to become your ticket to greater financial stability and freedom. But here is the part that requires your participation. You have to stop dismissing your own abilities. I know that sounds like generic advice, but for Sagittarius right now, it is critical and specific. There is something you do, something you know, something you carry within you that the world is ready to pay for. And the only thing standing between you and that exchange is your own belief that it is not valuable enough. Maybe someone told you years ago that it was not a real skill. Maybe you compared yourself to others and decided you were not good enough. Maybe you just never had anyone in your life who recognized what you bring to the table. Whatever the reason, the block is internal, not external. The opportunity is already forming. The door is already cracking open. But you have to be willing to walk through it, and that means owning what you are good at without apology. I also want to mention that this financial shift is not just about more money coming in. It is about a complete change in your relationship with abundance. You are moving from a scarcity mindset, where every dollar feels fragile and every expense feels like a threat, to an abundance mindset, where you trust that there is enough and that more is always on the way. This mental shift is actually more important than the money itself, because it is what allows you to make better decisions, take smarter risks, and stop letting fear dictate your financial choices. When you operate from scarcity, you cling to what you have and miss opportunities that require an initial investment of faith. When you operate from abundance, you move with confidence, and that confidence becomes magnetic. Pay attention in the coming weeks to any ideas that pop into your head about ways to earn, to create, or to offer something of value. Those ideas are not random. They are downloads from a higher intelligence that is guiding you toward your next level of prosperity. Write them down. Explore them. Do not let the voice of doubt talk you out of them before you even try. Because the financial shift I am describing is not going to land in your lap fully formed. It is going to require you to take a step, and when you take that step, the ground will meet your foot. That is how this works. And what I am going to share in the next section is directly connected to this, because it involves a decision you have been putting off that is the key to unlocking everything. Tip 5. A decision you have been avoiding is now ready to be made. You know exactly what I am talking about. There is a decision that has been sitting on your shoulders for weeks, maybe months, and you have been circling it without landing. You have thought about it late at night. You have weighed the pros and cons more times than you can count. You have asked for opinions, searched for signs, and still found yourself unable to commit to a direction. And the reason is not that you lack intelligence or courage. The reason is that this decision carries weight. It is the kind of choice that you know will change things permanently, and that permanence is what has kept you frozen. But here is what the energy is telling me about this moment. The clarity you have been waiting for is arriving now. Not in a dramatic flash of lightning, but in a quiet, steady knowing that settles over you like a warm blanket. You are going to wake up one morning soon and realize that you already know what to do. You have known for a while. The hesitation was never about the decision itself. It was about your readiness to accept the consequences of that decision, both the things you gain and the things you leave behind. Because every choice that moves you forward also requires you to release something, and it is the releasing that has been so hard. I want to speak directly to that fear of letting go because for Sagittarius, this is one of the deepest patterns at play right now. You are someone who values freedom, who loves possibility, who thrives in open spaces where all options remain on the table. And making a definitive choice can feel like closing a door, like reducing your options, like trapping yourself. But what I need you to understand is that the opposite is actually true. Indecision is what traps you. Staying in the middle, refusing to commit, hovering between two paths. That is the real prison. When you finally make the choice, you set yourself free. You free up all the mental and emotional energy that has been consumed by the back and forth, and that energy becomes available for action, for creation, for living fully in the direction you have chosen. The decision I am seeing for many of you involves either a living situation, a career path, or a relationship structure. It is something that touches on your daily life in a fundamental way. And the good news tied to this decision is that whichever direction you choose, as long as it is aligned with your true self and not driven by fear or obligation, will lead to expansion. This is one of those rare moments where the universe is not testing you with a trick question. Both paths have potential, but one of them resonates with who you are becoming, not who you used to be. And that is the one to choose. The one that feels like growth, even if it also feels a little scary. Trust your gut on this. Your intuition has been sharpened by everything you have been through, and it will not steer you wrong now. The surprise turn I mentioned at the beginning of this video is intimately connected to this decision. When you make it, you activate a chain of events that brings the good news I have been describing. The decision is the catalyst. It is the domino that sets everything else in motion. So do not rush it, but do not keep avoiding it either. The time is now, and once you step forward, you are going to understand why the waiting was necessary. It was preparing you for this exact moment of clarity and courage. Now, let me tell you about something that is going to happen in your physical body and health that is part of this same wave of transformation. Tip 6. Your body is sending you messages you need to hear. There is a physical component to everything that is shifting for you right now, and I do not want you to overlook it. Your body has been talking to you. Maybe it has been whispering through fatigue, through tension in your shoulders or neck, through disrupted sleep, through a general sense of heaviness that you cannot quite explain. These are not random symptoms. They are your body processing the enormous amount of emotional and energetic change that is moving through your life. Think of your body as a barometer for your soul. When deep shifts are happening internally, your body registers them physically. And right now, your body is working overtime to keep up with the speed of your transformation. The good news is that a period of physical renewal is also part of this season for you. As the emotional weight begins to lift, as the decisions get made, as the relationships realign, you are going to notice a surge of energy that you have not felt in a long time. It is going to feel like waking up from a long sleep. Your motivation to move, to take care of yourself, to nourish your body with better choices, is going to increase naturally. You will not have to force it. It will feel like a craving, like your body is finally asking for what it actually needs instead of just getting by on whatever you have been giving it. But I want to encourage you not to wait for that surge to arrive before you start paying attention. Right now, today, your body is asking for simple things. More water, more rest, more time in fresh air, more moments of stillness where you are not scrolling, not thinking, not planning, just existing. These small acts of care are not luxuries. They are the foundation that allows your body to support the massive shifts happening in every other area of your life. You cannot build a new chapter on a depleted foundation. And the truth is, many of you have been running on fumes for so long that you have forgotten what it feels like to be truly rested, truly nourished, truly cared for from the inside out. There is also something specific I want to mention about stress patterns. Sagittarius tends to carry stress in a way that is invisible to others. You smile, you keep moving, you project strength and optimism, even when you are falling apart on the inside. And while that resilience is admirable, it has a cost. The stress does not disappear just because you do not show it. It settles into your body, into your muscles, into your nervous system, and over time, it creates patterns of chronic tension that feel so normal you do not even notice them anymore. This is the season to break those patterns. Not through dramatic overhauls or extreme programs, but through gentle, consistent attention to what your body is telling you. Start noticing where you hold tension. Is it your jaw, your fists, your lower back? Those areas are storing emotions that your mind has not yet processed. And as you bring awareness to them, as you consciously relax them throughout the day, you are going to find that emotional clarity comes along with the physical release. The body and mind are not separate systems. They are one integrated whole, and healing one heals the other. The energy that is flowing into your life right now, the good news, the surprise turns, the relationship shifts, all of it will land more powerfully and be sustained more easily when your body is in a state of receptivity rather than a state of defense. And speaking of receptivity, there is something coming in the area of your daily routines and habits that is about to change the entire texture of your life, and I will get into that next. Tip 7. A habit shift is going to create a ripple effect. This one might sound simple on the surface, but do not underestimate it, because the most powerful transformations in life often begin with the smallest changes in daily routine. There is a habit, one single habit, that you are about to either adopt or release, and the ripple effect of that change is going to touch every corner of your existence. I am not talking about a massive lifestyle overhaul. I am talking about one thing, one adjustment to how you start your morning, how you end your night, how you spend a particular hour of your day, or how you respond to a recurring trigger. That one shift is going to set off a chain reaction that transforms your energy, your productivity, your mood, and ultimately your results. For some of you, this habit is about what you consume, not just food but information. You have been filling your mind with noise, with negativity, with content that drains you rather than fuels you. And the shift is going to involve a conscious decision to change what you let into your mental space. When you start your day with intention instead of distraction, when you choose silence over scrolling, when you feed your mind with things that uplift and challenge you rather than things that numb and deplete you, the entire trajectory of your day changes. And when the trajectory of your day changes, the trajectory of your life changes with it. For others, this habit shift is about how you manage your energy throughout the day. You have been operating in a pattern of pushing yourself until you crash, then recovering just enough to push again. It is a cycle of burnout and recovery that never actually allows you to build sustainable momentum. The habit you are about to adopt is one of pacing, of strategic rest, of recognizing that slowing down is not the same as falling behind. It is actually the secret to going further and faster over the long run. The most successful people in any field are not the ones who work the hardest every single day. They are the ones who know when to push and when to pause, and they have built that rhythm into their daily practice. Here is why this matters so much right now. The good news that is coming your way, the financial shift, the relationship transformation, the opportunities that are about to open up. All of these things require sustained energy to navigate. You cannot receive blessings from a state of exhaustion. You cannot make wise decisions when you are running on empty. You cannot show up fully in relationships when you have nothing left to give. The habit shift that is calling to you right now is not just a nice improvement. It is the infrastructure that allows you to hold and maintain the abundance that is flowing into your life. And there is something beautifully cyclical about this. As the good news arrives and your external circumstances improve, it becomes easier to maintain the habit. And as the habit strengthens, it attracts even more positive outcomes. This is the upward spiral that replaces the downward spiral you have been trapped in. Instead of stress leading to bad habits leading to more stress, you enter a cycle of intentional living leading to positive results leading to more motivation to live intentionally. This is the turning point. This is where the temporary shift becomes a permanent transformation. And it all starts with one habit, one decision made daily, one small act of discipline that compounds over time into something extraordinary. I want you to think right now about what that habit might be for you. You already know. It is the thing you have been meaning to do, the thing you keep putting off, the thing that whispers to you every morning and every night. That is your key. That is the domino. And when you tip it, everything else falls into place. Now, in the next section, I need to talk to you about something that might catch you off guard, because it has to do with a person from your past who is about to re-enter the picture in a way you did not see coming. Tip 8. Someone from your past is about to resurface. I need you to be prepared for this, because it is going to stir up emotions that you thought you had already dealt with. There is someone from your past, someone you shared a significant connection with, who is about to come back into your awareness. This might happen through a direct message, a phone call, a chance encounter, or even through hearing about them from someone else. However it happens, the effect is going to be the same. It is going to hit you in a place you were not expecting to feel, and it is going to bring up questions that you thought you had already answered. Now, before I go any further, I want to be very clear about something. This resurfacing is not necessarily a sign that you should rekindle whatever you had with this person. It is a sign that there is unfinished emotional business that needs to be addressed, and the universe is creating the conditions for that to happen. Sometimes closure does not come from a conversation with the other person. Sometimes it comes from an internal reckoning, a moment where you finally allow yourself to feel what you suppressed, grieve what you lost, and release the attachment to how things should have gone. This person coming back into your awareness is the trigger for that process. For some of you, this is going to be deeply healing. The person may reach out with an apology, an explanation, or a level of honesty that they were not capable of before. They may have grown in the time since you last connected, and their evolution may actually allow for a conversation that was impossible before. If that is the case, approach it with an open heart but clear boundaries. You can listen without absorbing. You can acknowledge without agreeing. You can forgive without forgetting the lessons you learned. For others, this resurfacing is going to be more of a test. The person may come back with the same patterns, the same energy, the same dynamics that caused you to walk away in the first place. And the test is whether you have grown enough to see it clearly this time. The old you might have been drawn back in by nostalgia, by loneliness, by the comfort of the familiar. But the new you, the version of yourself that has been rebuilt through everything we have talked about in this video, that version of you has higher standards. That version of you knows the difference between missing someone and needing someone. That version of you chooses based on where you are going, not where you have been. What I find most significant about this timing is how it connects to the self-worth rebuilding I talked about earlier. This person resurfacing is almost like a final exam for your new sense of self. Can you hold on to your worth even when confronted with someone who may have diminished it in the past? Can you stay rooted in who you have become even when the pull of old patterns is strong? I believe you can. And I believe that how you handle this encounter is going to solidify everything that has been shifting inside of you. It is going to be the moment where you prove to yourself, not to anyone else, but to yourself, that you have truly changed. And that proof is more powerful than any external validation could ever be. The energy around this situation is charged but not dangerous. It is emotional but not destructive. And however it plays out, you are going to come out the other side with a deeper understanding of who you are and what you truly want moving forward. That understanding is going to be essential for what I am about to share next, because the final stretch of this reading gets into the territory of your life purpose and the massive alignment that is happening there right now. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Tip 9. Your life purpose is coming into sharper focus. Something has been nagging at you for a while now, a feeling that you are meant for more than what you are currently doing. Not more in terms of status or recognition, but more in terms of meaning. You have been going through the motions in certain areas of your life, doing what needs to be done, fulfilling your responsibilities, showing up day after day. But underneath all of that, there is a quiet ache, a sense that your energy is being spent on things that do not truly light you up. And that ache is not a sign of ingratitude. It is a sign of alignment calling you forward. What I see happening for Sagittarius right now is a dramatic clarification of purpose. The fog that has been surrounding your sense of direction is beginning to lift. And what is emerging on the other side is a vision of your life that is more vivid and specific than anything you have had before. This is not some vague sense of wanting to help people or make a difference. This is a crystal clear understanding of what you are meant to do, who you are meant to do it for, and why it matters. And the speed at which this clarity is arriving may surprise you, because it feels like something you have been searching for your whole life is suddenly right there in front of you, obvious and undeniable. But here is where the challenge comes in. Clarity of purpose does not automatically come with a roadmap. You may see the destination clearly while having no idea how to get there. And that gap between vision and execution is where most people give up. They get the download, they feel the inspiration, they see the possibility, and then they look at the practical reality of their current situation and decide it is too far, too hard, too risky. They let the logistics kill the dream before it even has a chance to breathe. I am telling you right now, do not do that. Do not let the how suffocate the what. The vision comes first. The path reveals itself as you walk. Sagittarius has always been a sign associated with seeking, with expansion, with the hunger for deeper truth and wider horizons. And right now, that natural orientation is being activated in a way that feels almost urgent. You are not just casually wondering about your purpose anymore. You are being pulled toward it with a force that is hard to ignore. Conversations that used to interest you feel flat. Activities that used to satisfy you feel empty. Even relationships that are perfectly fine start to feel insufficient if they do not connect to this deeper sense of meaning that is emerging within you. This is not a crisis. This is an awakening. The good news I mentioned at the beginning of this video is deeply connected to this purpose alignment. The surprise turn that is coming is not just about external blessings landing in your lap. It is about you stepping into the truest version of yourself and finding that the world has been waiting for exactly that version. The opportunities, the connections, the resources, they are all aligned with your purpose, not separate from it. When you start moving in the direction of what truly matters to you, you are going to find that doors open faster, support appears more readily, and the feeling of struggle that has defined so much of your journey starts to dissolve. Because struggle is often just a sign that you are pushing in the wrong direction. When you align with your purpose, the energy shifts from pushing to flowing, and that flow is what carries you to places you could never have reached through effort alone. I want you to pay attention in the coming weeks to what excites you, not what impresses others or what seems practical, but what genuinely lights something up inside of you when you think about it. That excitement is not random. It is your soul's compass pointing you toward your path. Follow it, even if it does not make logical sense yet, even if you cannot see how it could possibly work. Follow the thread of what makes you feel alive, because that thread is connected to something much larger than you can see from where you are standing right now. And in the next section, I am going to talk about how this purpose alignment is going to attract a very specific kind of support system into your life, one that is already beginning to form. Tip 10. The right people are being drawn to you now. Here is something beautiful that happens when you start aligning with your true path. You stop having to search for your people because they start finding you. There is a shift happening in your social landscape right now that is subtle but incredibly powerful. The connections that are meant to support your next chapter are beginning to appear, sometimes in the most unexpected places. A brief conversation with a stranger that turns into something meaningful. A reconnection with someone you lost touch with who happens to be exactly where you need guidance. An introduction through a mutual contact that opens a door you did not even know existed. These are not coincidences. These are the universe reorganizing your support system to match the level you are rising to. For a long time, you may have felt like you were surrounded by people who did not fully understand you. People who cared about you certainly, but who could not quite grasp the depth of what you feel, the scope of what you dream, or the intensity of what you carry inside. And that disconnect created a loneliness that was hard to name, because you were never really alone in the physical sense. You had people around you. You had relationships. But there was a gap, an emotional and spiritual gap, between who you truly are and who the people in your life perceived you to be. That gap is beginning to close now. The people coming into your life in this season are different from the ones who came before. They are on a similar wavelength. They are doing their own inner work, pursuing their own growth, questioning the same assumptions, and seeking the same kind of depth that you crave. And when you connect with them, there is an instant recognition, a feeling of finally being seen and understood in a way that does not require you to explain or justify yourself. These connections are going to become the foundation of your next chapter. They are going to challenge you in healthy ways, support you without enabling you, and hold space for the version of you that is still emerging. But I also need to tell you something that is equally important. As these new connections form, some old ones may start to fade. And that is not something to mourn. It is something to honor. The people who were meant to walk with you through the previous chapter did their job. They served a purpose and you served one for them. But not everyone is meant to go where you are going next. Trying to drag connections forward that have naturally run their course creates drag. It slows you down. It pulls you back into patterns and energy that you have already outgrown. Letting go of these connections does not mean you did not love them. It means you loved yourself enough to keep growing, even when growth required space that the old connections could not fill. This is one of the hardest lessons for Sagittarius, because you are deeply loyal. You hold on to people long past the point of mutual benefit because you value history, because you feel responsible, because walking away feels like a betrayal of everything you shared. But I want you to reframe that. Walking away from a connection that no longer serves either of you is not betrayal. It is the highest form of respect. It is saying, I honor what we had, and I honor both of us enough to let it evolve, even if evolving means growing apart. The people who are meant to stay will stay. They will grow with you, adapt with you, and meet you at each new level you reach. And the ones who fall away were never meant to go the distance. They were meant for a season, and the season has ended. Trust the reorganization that is happening. Trust that the new connections showing up are divinely timed and purposefully placed. And trust that the combination of these new relationships with the clarity of purpose we discussed in the previous section is going to create a synergy that accelerates everything in your life. You are not just building a new chapter. You are building a new world, and you are populating it with the people who belong there. Now I want to bring everything together, because what I have shared with you in this video is not a collection of separate pieces. It is one unified message about a turning point in your life. The surprise turn that is bringing good news is not a single event. It is a wave that is touching your relationships, your self-worth, your finances, your health, your habits, your past, your purpose, and the people who surround you. Every section we walk through is connected to every other section, and together they paint a picture of a life that is being fundamentally restructured for the better. But I do not want you to walk away from this video thinking that all of this is going to happen to you passively. That is not how the universe works. The energy is aligned. The doors are opening. The timing is right. But you still have to walk through those doors. You still have to make the decisions, take the steps, and show up with intention every single day. The universe meets effort with support, not the other way around. It is not going to drag you into your blessings. It is going to set them before you and wait for you to claim them. And I think that is the real message of this season for Sagittarius. It is not just about good things coming your way. It is about you becoming the kind of person who can receive good things without self-sabotaging, without shrinking, without looking for reasons why you do not deserve them. The transformation that is happening is internal first and external second. And the internal work is the harder work, but it is also the work that lasts. External circumstances can change at any moment, but when your inner foundation is solid, when your sense of worth is unshakable, when your connection to your purpose is clear, no external storm can take you down. You bend, you adapt, you keep going. And that is the energy you are stepping into now. So as you move forward from this video, carry this knowing with you. You are in a season of surprise and grace. You are being rebuilt and realigned. You are shedding what no longer fits and stepping into what has always been yours. The good news is real. The shift is happening. And you, more than anyone, deserve to be on the receiving end of everything that is coming. Do not let doubt tell you otherwise. Do not let past disappointments convince you that this time will be the same. This time is different because you are different. And the universe knows it, even if you are still catching up to that truth. Thank you for staying with me through all of this. I know it was a lot, and I know some of it hit close to home. But that is exactly why you needed to hear it. The energy does not lie, and neither does the pull that brought you to this video today. Trust it. Trust yourself. And most importantly, trust that the best is not behind you. It is ahead, closer than you think, and ready to meet you the moment you decide to reach for it. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.